Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
The city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack.
It did involve a man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could. He fired on our officers from his vehicle when he crashed his vehicle. 2 of our officers have been shot.
The perpetrator has been killed. It's so upsetting, and it's just an act of pure evil.
What I'm asking at this time are prayers for those who have lost their lives in the city of New Orleans due to this tragedy.
Thank you so much for joining us on NewsNation Now. I'm Nick Smith, in for Nichole Berlie at our headquarters here in Chicago. We begin this year with a horrific tragedy in New Orleans. 10 people are dead, more than 30 others injured after a truck plowed through one of the busiest and well-known streets of that city. It happened on Bourbon Street as many were out celebrating and ringing in the new year. The FBI has taken over, saying they will investigate the incident as an act of terrorism. We're expecting another update shortly, and we will bring that to you live as soon as it begins. But first, here's what a witness told NewsNation about what she saw this morning.
And I were walking down Canal and got about midway through the intersection on Bourbon, a little over half the way, and the man in the truck just guns the truck and drove right through the center of all these people, through the barricades, the pedicabs, police. It was a huge impact. It almost sounded like gunshots, and then the screaming. It was total chaos. There were people in the middle of the road, bodies, and it was just chaos.
NewsNation's Caitlin Becker has been following this story closely. Caitlin, we're hearing her describe bodies in the street, complete chaos. This continues to be a developing story. What else do we know at this hour?
You know, Nick, I think that description is really important to focus in on with what we know so far. We don't know a lot, but it does seem that we know what the driver of this vehicle's intention was. Not the motive behind it, but the intention. And we're learning that from law enforcement, where the New Orleans police superintendent said that the intention, they believed, was to create as much physical damage to human beings as possible. Take a look.
And it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could.
And tragically, the carnage that was left over was significant. At last count, there are at least 10 fatalities, something like 35 injured people. And that hasn't been updated, Nick, in some time. Now, we had sources on the ground who had told NewsNation earlier today that they had been working nearby, right off of Bourbon Street, the overnight shift when this happened, and said that when the incident occurred, they saw people with injuries, minor injuries, fleeing the scene, running to take cover. So there may be significantly more injured people than we had originally thought. But again, that hasn't been updated quite yet. Now, the investigation is continuing on the ground. The FBI is searching for potentially any additional explosives in the area. And of course, the forensic team is on the ground in that exact region that you're looking at right here, going through all of the evidence that could have been potentially left there to figure out who was behind the wheel. Why did this happen? The chief among them is, of course, the truck that was left at the scene there. Now, among those that were shot and killed is the person who was behind the wheel. The suspect did die on the scene, and we're told from law enforcement that happened when officers returned fire, Nick.
Caitlin Becker, thank you so much with the very latest. As we've said, the FBI is treating the attack as, quote, an act of terrorism. President Biden has spoken with the mayor of New Orleans, pledging that the administration will give their full support. NewsNation correspondent Kelly Meyer continues our coverage from the White House. Kelly, what's the latest you're hearing on the federal response to what happened this morning?
Yeah, we know that President Joe Biden continues to be briefed on this and says he will be throughout the day. And I want to say that we did just hear from President Biden moments ago as he's making his way to Camp David. And I wanted to play a bit of what he had to say to reporters. Take a listen.
I'm not going to comment on any specific yet at all. I've contacted every agency in the federal government as well as the state. They're all coordinating to get to the bare facts. We know what the facts are.
Can you say if you were a foreigner or if you were domestic?
I'm not going to say anything until I get all the facts in front of me.
Has the suspect been identified? Has the suspect been identified?
Again, I'm not going to comment until I speak to the group later. I've spoken to every member of the agency, from the CIA to our national security team, to our FBI, NSC, and we're gathering all the, and I spent a lot of time with the government, with the mayor.
What was your reaction when you heard what happened?
Well, the reaction was one of anger and frustration.
So he didn't want to get into specifics there, he said. We also have this statement in from Attorney General Merrick Garland saying, in part, the FBI is investigating this matter as an act of terrorism. The FBI, the ATF, the Justice Department's National Security Division, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Louisiana will continue to work with our law enforcement partners and will deploy every available resource to conduct this investigation. And as you mentioned, Nick, President Biden has spoken with the mayor there in New Orleans and offered the full support. And as we know, again, the FBI investigating this as an act of terrorism, Nick.
Kelly, unfortunately, a tragedy like this brings out everyone to respond and show once again how it affects everyone. We've also heard from President-elect Trump. He posted a short time ago on Truth Social. What did he have to say?
Yeah, he's also weighing in on this, President-elect Donald Trump on Truth Social, hearing from him directly there, saying in part this: our hearts are with all the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil. J.D. Vance, his incoming vice president, also shared his Truth Social post with the comment saying, heartbreaking violence last night in New Orleans, such a beautiful and great American city. May God bless the victims and their families. And again, as you mentioned, Nick, reaction continues to pour in from here in Washington, as it is across the country. And it's something that we'll continue to monitor here throughout the day as President Biden continues to be briefed here. Nick.
Kelly Meyer with the very latest from our nation's capital. Kelly, thank you. I'd like to welcome in retired FBI agent Tom O'Connor and NewsNation national security contributor Tracy Walder, who herself was a former FBI agent and CIA officer. Thank you both for joining me on New Year's Day on what we thought would be a regular routine news day where we talk about celebrations around the globe. Tracy, I'm just going to jump right in there and ask you first, what comes next as the FBI takes over the investigation from the New Orleans police?
Well, thank you for having me, Nick. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances. So now, as the FBI is taking control, most likely they are looking at the suspect themselves, as well as looking through this area, making sure that there are not secondary devices that may be going off. I do think one of the things they will be looking for is ensuring that this individual was acting alone and that there are not additional, perhaps coordinated attacks that may occur at other places throughout the United States. So that will probably be issue number one for them.
Tom, Tracy talks about looking for other things and making sure nothing else is out of place. You've been to New Orleans, you've been to Bourbon Street. Walk us through that area and what that actually entails. And when do you anticipate we'd actually learn more about the suspect and any potential motive?
Well, and thanks for having me. And once again, an awful event, a terrible way to start 2025. And our hearts go out to the families of those lost and injured. With the FBI taking the lead of the investigation, what that really means is that the Joint Terrorism Task Force is going to be working this event through the Department of Justice. The Joint Terrorism Task Force is made up of multiple agencies, local, state, federal, a very high concentration of New Orleans law enforcement on that task force. So New Orleans isn't out of this investigation by any stretch. They're working through the Joint Terrorism Task Forces. Bringing in the FBI will also brings into play the evidence response teams and all that comes with that, the lab at Quantico. So the teams are now working those scenes, and they'll have to get legal process to actually search the vehicle that was used. You can't just go in there and start searching it, because if anything needs to be used for additional persons possibly, you don't want to lose that in a legal battle, right? So there is search warrants are going to be obtained, and then in a slow and methodical manner, those agents and support employees that are on the evidence response team are going to go through looking for things in that vehicle that may lead to some type of motivation or ideology. And outside of that, investigators are scrubbing all social media, everything they possibly can to determine a motive for this attack. And that's really the important part of this right now is why did this happen? So that is ongoing now as we speak. And it's early stages of this part of the process.
And Tracy, I understand it's early stages as part of this process, as Tom just said, but they stopped short of actually calling it terrorism and said that they would investigate it as an act of terrorism. Is that just semantics? And why the slow, methodical process when we have this story developing so rapidly and so many people looking for answers?
So I think part of the not rush to call it an act of terrorism that you mentioned was semantics, but was also confusion. The FBI has since come out and corrected that statement, which obviously I appreciate. I actually don't find this process to be all that slow. Maybe it's because I've obviously been on the investigative side before. But obviously, as I mentioned before, the first thing they need to do is to ensure that there are no more imminent threats, right? That's what we used to do at the CIA as well. Part of what I kind of glommed onto that President Biden was talking about was that he did talk to the CIA national security apparatus. So they're obviously looking at this from a national security perspective. One of the things that the FBI does bring to the table is the digital evidence in terms of going through that. They can do that in a much more expeditious manner, but this is going to be methodical because we do, as Tom mentioned, we do need to preserve evidence in this case. Obviously, that's going to be incredibly important in terms of moving forward, in terms of any charges that might be brought against co-conspirators. But they are sort of doing this twofold. They're going through methodically and collecting evidence, but they are also going through quickly and ensuring that there are no additional threats to the public.
I guess what gave me pause is when, Tom, you mentioned how, Nick, they have to secure a warrant. And I'm thinking, if the truck is right there, you mean to tell me that I'm thinking people at home have to be thinking the same thing? You mean they can't just go right into that truck and make sure all the things are no longer a threat or no longer a danger, particularly when we understand investigators say he jumped out of that vehicle and immediately opened fire on officers, Tom?
So there's a difference between going in and securing that vehicle, making sure there are no explosives, no other dangers to the community, and going through in that methodical process of collection of evidence. That has to be done with a search warrant. And that takes some time to get the search warrant. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes some time to get that search warrant going. And that is one of the things they're going to be doing is that vehicle is going to be very important. And as was said, while that's going on, the investigators are across the country running down leads. They are on that social media. They are scrubbing that to find out what the motivation might be. The important part about calling it an act of terrorism versus calling it being investigated as an act of terrorism is that an act of violence used to intimidate or coerce a civilian population or to influence the policy of a government is the definition under U.S. code for terrorism. If this person did this because they were just having horrendous mental issues and wanted to go out and take people with them, that's not an act of terrorism. No matter, all the bells and whistles may be going off, but they have to find out what that motivation was, what that ideology is to actually call it terrorism. We can investigate it until it is determined not to be terrorism, but they are investigating it as a terrorist act until it's potentially proven not to be, which I think is going to be an outside chance at this point.
Tom, thank you so much for breaking that down for me. New Orleans is hosting the Sugar Bowl tonight. This is what their CEO had to say about the importance of the event on Monday. Let's take a listen.
Both Georgia and Notre Dame have great traveling fan bases, and you're already seeing people in town, so it's an exciting time. It amounts to real dollars and cents for the city and for the state. You know, the economic impact is projected to be around $200 million.
So Mardi Gras starts in a few weeks, and the city hosts the Super Bowl next month. How much extra security, Tracy, do you expect to see at those events because of what happened this morning?
So there's a few logistics that will go into play with that. The Sugar Bowl, in my opinion, is what we call a hardened target, right? This is something they have been planning for. This is something that they suspect could be attacked. And as a result, it's been significantly hardened. Bourbon Street and Canal Street, in my opinion, was viewed as a soft target. I want to be sure people know I'm not saying that law enforcement did a bad job here. They did an excellent job here. You can see them running to the scene. There were plenty of law enforcement out. But one of the things that was going on Bourbon Street that hasn't been talked about much is there was a bollard project that was going on. It used to be a hardened target. In 2017, they made it so because of a terrorist attack in Nice, France in 2016 with a vehicle. So they put in these permanent bollards that vehicles could not ram. But from November and February of this year, they were refurbishing them. So they had temporary bollards there that were very easy to break through. Also at this time, they were down because trash was being collected. And so this is not viewed necessarily as this hardened target. So I suspect now, as a result, as you mentioned, Nick, with Mardi Gras and all of those events taking place, this will become a much more hardened target, very much like the Sugar Bowl.
Tom, in light of this, I have 15 seconds there. In light of everything that happened this morning and the events that are about to take place in New Orleans, do you still feel it's safe for citizens to partake in both the Sugar Bowl, in Mardi Gras, and, of course, the Super Bowl?
Yes. In a very short answer, yes. New Orleans is a city that hosts all sorts of events. If someone plots and plans to do something, it's very difficult to completely thwart that potential. The Sugar Bowl is going to be safe. People should just, common sense. The police are going to be stepping up with all sorts of different entities assisting with this. So yes, go have a good time at the football game.
Tom O'Connor, Tracy Walder, thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you, Nick.
We have a live look right now at Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Again, 10 people killed, more than 30 injured when a truck plowed through that busy street this morning. We'll hear more from witnesses right after this break.
Safe Light repaired, Safe Light replaced.
Nobody likes a cracked windshield. But at least you can go to safelight.com and schedule a fix in minutes.
Can confirm. Very easy.
SafeLight can come to you for free. And our highly trained techs can replace your windshield right at your home.
Safe Light repair, Safe Light replace.
Go to safelight.com and schedule a replacement today.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, ride your bike.
If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, smile big and bright.
Thousands of kids just like me are happy every day.
And it's all because of generous people like you who support Shriners Hospitals for Children every month.
All you have to do is call the number on your screen or go online to loveshriners.org right now with your monthly gift.
Because of people like you, Shriners Hospitals for Children is able to make an everyday miracle happen for kids like me.
If you're happy and you know it, dance around. If you're happy and you know it, play a song.
If you're happy and you know it, and your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, take a shot.
And when you call or go online right now to donate $19 a month or more, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you and a reminder of all the smiles you're bringing to kids' faces every day.
Will today be the day you send your love to the rescue?
When you call the number on your screen right now and give as little as $19 a month, just 63 cents a day, you'll be making a life-changing difference for a child, just like Sarah.
Your monthly gift today could change your life forever.
Because of you.
We are happy and we know it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please call or go online right now to give. If operators are busy, please wait patiently or go to loveshriners.org right away.
My hair was thinning all around my hairline.
My dermatologist recommended Nutrafol. It's 100% drug-free and clinically tested.
My hair is longer, thicker.
Nutrafol is life-changing for me.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
NewsNation is an unbiased network reporting both sides of the issue.
What we're doing at NewsNation is we're just telling you the facts.
NewsNation is talking to the people that are in the middle.
So if you really want to know what's happening at our southern border, you have to live it every single day. And that's why I live here.
What did you see? What did you hear?
Well, like I said, we went up Burgundy. The streets were oddly nonchalant about it, but it was also, like I said, right before the whole incident with the truck too. So like everything was still like in the midst of happening, from what I understand. But there was later on, especially for the like locals and like some of the workers and everything at the clubs, like we were all kind of freaked out about it. But a lot of the chaos and everything happened way further up from us to like be a part of the actual, you know what I mean? Like to be able to realize what actually the full extent of what had happened until later.
So you were safe at Cat's Meow, but other businesses, other customers further down Bourbon were obviously not safe. What does this mean for your business? You said that Cat's Meow, I mean, that's a hot spot on New Year's Eve. It would have been a hot spot today on New Year's Day, and you're shut down today? What are you going to do? What does this mean for your business?
We honestly don't know. I'm still waiting to hear from our management group to find out if we'll be able to open today. I know I'm supposed to be going in for 5 p.m. God, I hope I can. But overall, it's going to obviously be a loss for business and for us today, and for the people that come out to enjoy the game and stuff, to not be able to go down Bourbon Street and enjoy like the festivities and the beauty that is the French Quarter in the city. So it affects us monetarily, but honestly, it's more about like the punch to the gut, to the spirit of like the city and what we do out here and all. It's one of the last bastions for humans to come and be human out here, right? A little bit. So it's definitely a little bit of a kick in the gut for us.
And we do know that there was a huge police presence last night. Bourbon Street is getting a bad rap. I mean, you see that. What do you want to encourage people and visitors now that this happened on the world famous Bourbon Street where you work?
Honestly, this happens, it's humanity in general. You're going to have this in any big city you go to, some form of violence or stupid shit. It's a shame that it happens out here on Bourbon and everything, but I would tell people, honestly, come and have fun, and don't let the little things in life like destroy the beauty of what the city does and what it can be. Like, come anyway, be your best self when you come out here. Tip your bartenders, like treat everybody with respect, and everybody can have an amazing time. That's what we're known for.
And that's what people were doing last night until this happened. And Sean, you obviously know the French Quarter and Bourbon Street, so what do they need to do to make it more secure for large events? I mean, what can be done to maybe change situations like this from happening again?
That's honestly a hard statement to be able to make overall. I mean, the increased police presence out here for this event was obviously a big boon to help. That's something that honestly the service industry workers do worry about, late nights and stuff like that, like not being able to get the police presence when we need them for stupid stuff that happens. But like overall, the city's it's doing what it can. I'd love to see a little bit more police presence out here on big events, on all of them, not just like New Year's Eve and Mardi Gras and everything, but overall, we just got to be better as human beings. Like honestly, like there's only so much the city can do. Like they had all that police presence out here tonight, and it didn't matter in the end. Like if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's just how we deal with it once it does.
And what's your message to the families and the victims that are suffering now because this happened?
I can't speak for all of us, but I know the general consensus of how we are out here in the quarter and everything, and it's a damn shame. We feel for y'all's loss, and we are truly sorry for everything that happened out here. It is horrible, like for everybody involved, and even us that we didn't even know these people, we still feel for the loss of the human life, especially in a tragic time, like right in the middle of like New Year's. Like it's a shame. It really is, and I'm just glad that overall it wasn't worse than it kind of thing, you know, like it's a shame that it happened, but I'm glad it didn't escalate any further than what it could have. The cops responded quickly. They were able to handle it as soon as they could, kind of stuff. So it's one of those things. It's like it's one of those tragedies. It's a tragedy. It really is overall. Like, it just is. It's an utter shame.
Absolutely horrible, and it is being called an act of terrorism, a terrorist attack. And Sean, we're not allowed to go back on Bourbon Street. We're being blocked off. We're barricaded off here, so we can't go back and see what it looks like. But you were able to walk down Bourbon. Can you describe what you saw? What does Bourbon Street look like right now? You were obviously coming from work at Cat's Meow. What does it look like?
From what I know from people that worked up the street and everything, I would feel it'd probably be best not to mention on camera. It's not a pretty scene right now on Bourbon. It's really not. But everybody, first responders and the police and everybody are doing everything they can. FBI has gotten involved. So, like, everybody's working the best they can to try to make some sense out of this and figure it out. But it's not a good scene right now on Bourbon. It really ain't.
Sad. Well, thank you. We appreciate you being respectful of that. And Sean, you take care. You be safe. And thank you so much. And anything else you want to tell customers about maybe going to Cat's Meow, singing a karaoke song to help with the healing?
Yeah, obviously, if we do open up tonight and everything, and we try to push through and make the best of what we can for this, please, by all means, come out, get a drink, sing a song or two, come have fun, throw some bees off the balcony, try the best you can to just move past as we can. We got to push through all our tragedies that happen in life.
Thank you very much, Sean. You take care.
Y'all too. Y'all have a good day. Be safe out there.
You too. Thank you. So, Kurt and Amy, you heard it here from somebody.
You are listening live there to our affiliate on the ground, WGNO. They have been speaking with people who witnessed things this morning there on Bourbon Street. He was speaking with one of the bar managers there, Sean at Cat's Meow, who just once again reiterated that New Orleans is a beautiful place that is welcoming to all, that this does not represent who they are. We will continue to follow everything happening there. And right now, you have a live look at Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Again, 10 people killed, more than 30 injured when a truck plowed through that busy street this morning. We'll hear more from witnesses after this break.
Gusto, the #1 choice for small business payroll, does a lot more than payroll. Get payroll taxes and compliance, time tracking and contractor payments, and even benefits, starting at just $46 a month.
Let's get started. Bill, where's your mask?
I really tried sleeping with it, everybody. Now I sleep with Inspire.
Inspire? No mask?
Just sleep.
Learn more and view important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Stay tuned to get this ultra nonstick bakeware set and these razor-sharp chef's knives free from Granite Stone. Has your old set of pans lost their slick? Does everything get baked on, burnt on, and stick? You know you need a new set, but the prices are so high it's obscene. Well, say hello to Granite Stone Emerald Green, a kitchen full of the most durable, ultra non-stick cookware at the most affordable price anywhere. Granite Stone Emerald Green is the fast, easy way to make your family 5-star cuisine that's delicious and lean. No oil or butter needed. Granite Stone Emerald Green is constructed from a hard aluminum plate and coated 3 times with our durable, ultra non-stick Granite Stone Emerald Green finish. They're oven rated up to 500 degrees and come with vented tempered glass lids to prevent boilover. Plus, all Granite Stone cookware is 100% metal utensil and dishwasher safe. Look, you'd expect to pay up to $500 for a professional quality cookware set. But during this special TV introduction, you can get the complete Granite Stone Emerald Green set not for $500, $400, or even $300, but for the factory direct price of just 5 easy payments of $39.99. And for everyone who orders today, we're going to drop 1 payment. You get it all for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. And here's the offer you've been waiting for. We'll include this razor-sharp 6-piece knife set to prep quick, and they're all non-stick, free. But there's even more. You'll get our 5-piece bakeware set, the fast, easy, ultra non-stick way to bake up your favorite desserts. Together, they're an $80 value. Yours absolutely free. That's an incredible 21-piece Granite Stone Emerald Green set, all for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. Order now.
Call 1-800-357-0801 or go to emeraldset.com. That's 1-800-357-0801. That number again is 1-800-357-0801 or go to emeraldset.com.
HomeGlow just cleaned my entire house for $19. Seriously, $19. They showed up right on time and did my dishes, my laundry. They even cleaned my windows. You just pick a date, pick a cleaner, and enjoy a spotless house for $19. I love using HomeGlow, and I think you will too.
I can feel the winds of change.
At Grainger, we know dealing with the unexpected is part of your job description. And you made a promise to keep the line running, to power through the downpour, to be the one who always gets it done. And our promise is to help you do it with professional-grade supplies for every industry, plus same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. Because you can't predict the future, but with the right partner, you can be prepared for it. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back. This was the scene yesterday afternoon as Georgia and Notre Dame fans celebrated the Sugar Bowl parade in New Orleans ahead of tonight's game. But the mood in the Crescent City has taken on a more somber tone in the wake of the early morning attack that killed at least 10 people reveling in the New Year's celebration. Correspondent Caitlin Becker is live with the very latest information. Caitlin, we have been listening to witnesses on the ground just talk about how this is still a safe city. They want people to come to the city, but they're going through a hard time right now. What are officials actually saying about the Sugar Bowl and security now?
Well, Nick, officials in New Orleans are saying that the Sugar Bowl is going to go on as scheduled and ensuring the residents of New Orleans and other people who have come to visit to go to the big game that they will be safe. However, security will be beefed up. The Sugar Bowl has put out a statement, of course, expressing their sadness and saying that they are in touch with law enforcement to make sure that everything is going to go off safely. You're seeing a bit of this statement right now and saying we are in ongoing discussions with authorities on the local, state, and federal levels and will communicate further details as they become available. Now, this statement here is very similar to the ones that we saw from UGA, the Georgia Bulldogs, and Notre Dame's Fighting Irish, who also expressed their, of course, sympathies and sadness about the tragedies, but also said that they were in touch with local and federal law enforcement to make sure that everything moving forward today remains safe. Now, as you heard from people who are on the ground right before we went to break, this area of the French Quarter of Bourbon Street is shut down. So this will certainly impact how people are making their way through the city as they try to head to and from the stadium today. But with law enforcement on the ground and the federal government and the FBI really trying to take control of what is going on here. We will be getting updates from them as the day goes on. But as of now, everything is going forward as planned, and it seems that they have their ducks in a row. Security is beefed up so that nothing, according to law enforcement, could potentially threaten any of the people who are going to the game later today, Nick.
Yeah, Caitlin, and like you said, we've heard from some in New Orleans after this incident, and the witnesses have been saying, hey, we want people to still come out, but we know certain areas have been blocked off. What are people suggesting that they do?
Well, it really depends on who you ask, Nick, when you're talking to people who were on the ground and who were around the incident as it was happening. They are dealing with a very different reality to others who are trying to sort of pick up the pieces and continue on with the day. But New Orleans is a resilient city, and that's what we heard from at least one person on the ground. Take a look.
Honestly, it don't look like it's going to slow down much. I think New Orleans is good at taking a licking and keeping on ticking, and I hope everybody keeps that same morale and we don't let the lives that pass be forgotten.
Yeah, it's always one of those really tough situations, Nick, when you're dealing with a tragedy like this, how you can remain sympathetic and empathetic and compassionate to those who were involved and to those who have lost their lives or are dealing with injuries, while still making sure that you're not allowing the tragedy and the sort of darkness that came out of this whole incident to weigh everybody down. So trying to keep morale up on the streets of New Orleans today, Nick.
As they still try to process exactly what happened and as we continue to learn more. Caitlin Becker, thank you so much. Joining me now is J.P. Morrell, New Orleans City Council member at large. Mr. Morrell, thank you so much for taking time to join us today.
Thanks, Nick, for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. How are you ameliorating the concerns of your constituents right now? Because I have to believe that you've been getting phone calls all morning as well.
Well, obviously, people in New Orleans are scared. They're worried. The vast majority, if not almost all, of the victims are local residents. And so there's a lot of process this morning, a tremendous amount to process. And we are doing our best as local elected officials, local law enforcement, the like, to process what's going on and support the people of the city of New Orleans.
And JP, we've heard witnesses talk about, in fact, we just heard Sean, whom you may even know, he's a manager over at Cat's Meow. He's talking about he has a business on Bourbon Street, and he says himself, he's like, I don't want people to walk down Bourbon Street right now. It's not a pretty scene. Have you been on the scene?
I have not been on the scene. We're at City Hall right now, kind of a nucleus of collecting information and making sure it's disseminated in a way that people can process. But Bourbon Street's an active crime scene. So, I mean, I think for those people who are local or who are, I don't know, nearby, Bourbon Street is being treated, the whole of Bourbon Street, as an active crime scene. Obviously, this was a terrorist attack. There's a tremendous amount of law enforcement involvement. The FBI has taken over the case as a terrorist attack. We have a tremendous amount of cameras similar to what they have, but not quite the level they have in New York. We have a real-time crime center, and that's all being processed right now. So Bourbon Street, for all practical purposes, is not available to the people, whether visitors or the locals, for the time being and probably for the foreseeable future. So what you're looking at is there is a lot of other things going on around the city. I know that the organizers of the Super Bowl plan on going forward. I think that the challenge you always have in the wake of a terrorist attack is not letting them win and not changing our behavior because people are trying to shape what we can and can't do. But for the time being, Bourbon Street is being treated by local law enforcement as an active crime scene.
I'm glad you said that, too, because there are a number of tourists who are in the New Orleans area right now who are there for different events, everything from the Sugar Bowl to, like you said, Super Bowl in February. And we have Mardi Gras coming up. I've been to New Orleans many a time, coming up and down Canal Street, so I know the area. And would you, again, let people know that there are other things happening in New Orleans besides the area that's been cordoned off on Bourbon Street?
Correct. I mean, as you know, the French Quarter is very, very large. Parts of the French Quarter will still be accessible. There are other parts of the city that tourists frequent. There's Frenchman Street, which is on the other side of the quarter, which is kind of like a locals Bourbon Street. There's Magazine Street uptown. There's a tremendous, I mean, New Orleans is a very tourism-friendly city. I mean, we are internationally renowned for that. So though this part of the city will be cordoned off because it's an active investigation scene, there are other areas available. Further, I want to really stress to people who are visiting the city right now, just like in any other city after a massive incident like this, we're really asking for your patience, because as we process what has happened, as we make sure everyone is safe, whether you're residents or visitors, there's going to be more checkpoints. There'll be more law enforcement presence. You are going to have to change probably your travel plans to get to and from the game and give yourself an extra half an hour, extra hour to get processed into the game. That's all part of what happens in the wake of one of these events, because like I said, there is that delicate balancing act of making sure that we do everything possible to investigate what happened, to get all the information, make sure everyone's safe, but that is going to require some patience on the behalf of residents and visitors to just really factor that into what you're going to be doing for the next couple of days.
J.P. Morrell, City Council member at large, I want to thank you again for taking time to speak with us, and our condolences to your community and everything that they're dealing with right now in light of this tragedy.
In particular, I want to thank our police department. We had 2 officers that were injured during this incident, and their quick response, as bad as this was, their quick response in neutralizing this terrorist before they could fully implement their plan really cannot be understated. Our law enforcement, our NOPD, they were on top of it. We have 2 injured officers. A lot of guys out there worried about them. We're worried about them, and we're praying for them.
JP, quickly, what do we know about their condition right now? How are they doing?
They're stable. They're stable. These are people who are not in critical condition. We don't know the extent as far as like how they will be able to continue as an officer or so forth, but we're praying for them. We're praying for all the victims, but I don't want to understate how quickly our law enforcement neutralized this person before they could fully emerge from this vehicle and do whatever they had planned next.
JP Morrell, once again, thank you, sir, for joining us this afternoon. Right now, you're taking a live look at Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Again, 10 people killed, more than 30 injured when a truck plowed through that busy street this morning. We'll have a lot more from the ground right after this break.
Go, friends, gather! Kiki, Chris, Jason! Whoop. Friends, let's go, friends! Hold on to your dice.
Nice frosting, friend. Thank you.
How we doing, Kiki?
Tastes like money to me.
I can't go back to jail!
Wait, did you rob my bank?
Are we winning? Money, power, friendship. Let's go!
Not again.
Your cold is coming! Your cold is coming!
Thanks, Revere.
We really need to keep Zycam in the house.
Only if you want to shorten your cold.
When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zycam.
See why hand battered is better with the $6 chicken basket. Our 100% white meat chicken is always just a batter dip away from becoming its own golden treasure. Batter up. Make our app your first mate and order ahead to skip the wait. Long John Silver's. Fish share.
Your loved ones are getting older, and they need your support. Care.com is here to help. It's an easy way to find background-checked senior caregivers in your area and some peace of mind. See why millions of families have trusted Care. Go to Care.com now.
Watch your step. Oh. That's why VisionWorks makes it simple to schedule an eye exam that works for you, even if you have a big trip to plan around.
Thanks.
I mean, I could see you right now. That's convenient. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Safe like repair.
Perfecting your swing is hard.
Nice shot, Dad. Oh. Safe light replace.
But replacing your windshield doesn't have to be. Go to safelight.com and schedule a replacement today.
Woo! If you love cleanliness as much as your cat, you have to try Pretty Litter. I love that it's low dust and it traps smells, but that's not why I founded Pretty Litter. I made this litter with a built-in health monitor to let you know if your cat is experiencing a potential health issue. Visit prettylitter.com.
Used for 2 weeks, now it's a $1,500 coat rack. Didn't even learn smoke on the water. Broke her pinky, pulled her groin, glued it to the table. Babble? Interesting. Can she even speak a word of Spanish?
Lo siento, ¿qué dijiste?
Wait, really?
¿Qué? Son solo 15 minutos al día.
Start learning today at Babbel.com.
Those 26 miles in the rain?
Yeah.
FrameBridge can frame that with custom framing made easy.
First in my class.
Let FrameBridge frame that, either in-store or online.
This is Italy, Japan, 2013.
Why not frame them? They'll frame any memento, large or small. Whether it's a pic or a Picasso, FrameBridge will frame it with the highest quality materials. Millions of custom frames and counting. Get started today at framebridge.com.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Pay $0 when you file by 2/18. All tax forms, all 100% free. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it yourself.
It did involve a man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could. It was not a DUI situation.
And our local affiliate WGNO in New Orleans continues its wall-to-wall coverage of this New Year's attack that killed 10 people moments ago. They spoke with two tourists who watched the tragedy unfold. Take a listen.
Okay, Kimberly, what happened?
My husband and I were walking down Canal and got about midway through the intersection on Bourbon, a little over half the way, and the man in the truck just guns the truck and drove right through the center of all these people, through the barricades, the pedicabs, police. It just happened so fast. I mean, it was a huge impact. It almost sounded like gunshots. And then the screaming. It was total chaos. There were people in the middle of the road, bodies, and it was just chaos.
I can tell you're visibly still shook up from what happened. I mean, did you sleep last night?
No. No. I think, it's devastating to see somebody not have any respect for human life, innocent human life, and that could do that and take innocent lives and hurt people. And now to know his intent was to cause as much carnage as he could. It's just, it's unfathomable to me that somebody could have that intent.
Yeah, I feel for you guys, and I'm glad you guys are okay, but several people that aren't okay. What are you feeling about that, knowing that it could have been you guys?
Yeah, had we crossed any sooner, it could have. It could have. He actually kept trying to get me to cross over Canal further down that way, and we would have had to come right through that intersection to get to our hotel, and for some reason, I just didn't. I don't know what it was, divine intervention, I guess. But I mean, I really, I hurt for the people that were killed and their families. For the city. They have friends, families, loved ones that care about them.
I know, and everyone, what was the mood like before? I mean, Sugar Bowl fans were here, people were in town for concerts and parties, and it was a real celebration, and all of that is gone. Yeah. I mean, it just ruined, gone. The whole atmosphere changed in a split second, and it's just a very sombering, experience. And what did you guys do after? You heard the screams, you saw the truck barrel down, gunning it. What did you guys do afterwards? Did you try to help others? Did you run? What did you guys do?
Well, I know he was like, let's go. And he just he grabbed me, and we came over back in front of the hotel, and within seconds, I'll say this, the police were here. I mean, they did an outstanding job in getting here and getting these people help and trying to figure out what was going on and containing the scene, and they did a fantastic job with that.
And you came out here again today. You said you didn't sleep. Why are you here right now? You're staying in the Astor Crown Plaza. And what made you guys come back today, this morning?
We just needed to get out for a minute, go get a drink, and smoke a cigarette.
Simple things.
Simple things, yeah.
And you described that it was mass chaos. What did it sound like?
The sounds, I can't. The screams of those girls, and I can't get them out of my head. I'm sorry. It was bad. I mean, it was just like this explosive impact, loud and like the crunching. Yeah. Just the sound of metal, and it almost sounded like gunshots too. I mean, it was just this loud, huge boom impact.
Yeah, that's not something that you get over. That's not something that's going to be easy. But make sure you guys take the time you need, take care of yourself, take care of each other. And maybe your message you obviously love New Orleans. You're from Alabama. You come here often. I mean, what do you want to tell people about New Orleans after this tragedy?
This is a beautiful city. It's one of my favorite cities on earth. And it's sad, though, to see the crime rate, and you know, you have to be careful and vigilant about where you go, but it is a beautiful place to come, and there's so much, you know, so many fun things to do, and I hate that this is now going to have, you know, an effect on their reputation when it comes to tourism and everything else.
You know, but you guys are going to come back, though.
Absolutely.
We need you guys to come back, and thank you for sharing your heartbreaking story with us. Anything else you want to add just about being here and being witnesses to something just so tragic on New Year's Eve, New Year's morning?
No, it's just, I wish it would have been a happier beginning to a new year.
Wishing it had been a happier beginning to a new year. That is a sentiment that has been echoed through most of the witnesses who have spoken to our affiliate WGNO, who have been there on the ground since the beginning. Right now, you're taking a live look at Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Again, 10 people killed, more than 30 injured when a truck plowed through that busy street this morning. We'll have a lot more from on the ground right after this break.
Tuesday. There's nothing like NXT on the CW. Here we go.
The moment is right here. It's right now. Welcome to NXT.
All new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Buying a car is kind of a big deal, but you use the Car Gurus app. That's a price drop alert, so the deals come to you. Nope. Big deals right when you need them. Car Gurus, the #1 most visited car shopping site.
Where's your pain?
Right here.
Right here.
Both knees.
Take on the pain with CopperFit Mobilizer, the next generation in compression technology. Hyper-advanced compression sleeves with built-in blue infrared fibers for even faster recovery and pain relief.
You feel good, you play good. And this CopperFit Mobilizer, I guarantee you is going to be the reason why you see me on that field. You can book it, you can write the check, you can take it to the bank, and I guarantee you it'll cash.
Powered by LumaCore, blue infrared fibers woven into compression fabric. Increase circulation to reduce inflammation for faster recovery and pain relief. Two powerful technologies combined to create the next generation of wearable wellness.
The CopperFit Mobilizer works. It's perfect. It's giving you mobility. Literally, mobility is in the name.
Breathable comfort compression with built-in support stabilizers for more power and control.
It's more than just a compression sleeve. Having the compression and the LumaCore technology, which sounds so futuristic, but yet it's here, and it's really cool that CopperFit was the one to create it. I would definitely recommend it to anybody to give it a try who has pain.
Unleash your inner power to do more, play more, live more, and feel the energy with CopperFit Mobilizer.
Money doesn't sleep, bills don't sleep, so you got to get up and go to work. The CopperFit Mobilizer was support without feeling like it was tight. I can't explain the technology behind it. All I know is that it's working.
Get your CopperFit Mobilizer now at mobilizer.com for only $39.99. Or call 1-800-253-7217. Order now and your shipping is free.
It's working for me, it's going to work for you.
It helps 100%.
I wouldn't be standing here if this didn't actually change my life.
Get on this right now. With this LumaCore technology, it's brought it to the next level. It's absolutely amazing. This really works.
Get yours now at mobilizer.com. That's mobilizer.com.
I told you I don't need these anymore. I have Sling.
Okay, morning. I only let Sling deliver the news I need to stay informed. Thank you very much.
Nice one.
Nope. Sling gives us all the news we want in a quick and reliable manner.
And at a wonderful price.
This critical time calls for the critical news coverage that Sling provides.
Okay, See you tomorrow.
The most important news at the best price. Sling lets you do that.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? In over your head trying to make monthly payments? It's not your fault, but there's a powerful debt relief program the credit card companies don't want you to know about. Overcome the debt trap of multiple credit cards, high payments, and high interest rates that keep you in debt for decades. With one affordable low monthly payment, Credit Associates Debt Relief Program can help you resolve your debt in as little as 24 to 36 months, saving you thousands of dollars and decades in debt. Find out how much you can save. Call 1-800-600-3960. There is light at the end of the tunnel. For over 15 years, the Credit Associates team has been a trusted solution to credit card debt. With one call, you can soon be on your way to debt freedom. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Call now. A few minutes could save you thousands. Even better, there are no upfront fees. Join the Debt Relief Program. Call Credit Associates and see how much you could save. 1-800-600-3960. Live better, debt-free.
We return right now to breaking news. Let's bring you up to speed. We're awaiting a police and FBI briefing within the hour. For now, we know 10 people are dead, with a dozen more injured after a truck plowed down a crowded Bourbon Street in New Orleans in the early morning hours of New Year's. Authorities are asking people to stay away from Bourbon Street during their active investigation, which they say may be terrorism.
I hurt for the people that were killed and their families. For the city. They have friends, families, loved ones that care about them,
He was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. This man, this perpetrator, he fired on our officers from his vehicle when he crashed his vehicle. 2 of our officers have been shot. They are stable.
Shocked, this morning. My phone blew up this morning. Hey, are you okay?
Unfortunately, not an automobile barreling down one of the most visible streets in the world this time of year. Usually one of the most populated streets in the world, in a city that hosts major events, some of the largest, most attended events in the world. So even though it affected New Orleans, it's an unfortunate incident for our country.
In a little shock to wake up on New Year's Day to this type of news, and I'm sure when New Orleanians wake up and hear this, they're going to be in shock as well. It's so upsetting, and it's just an act of pure evil.
An act of pure evil. Right now, you're taking a live look at Bourbon Street in New Orleans again. 10 people killed and more than 30 injured when a truck plowed through that busy street this morning. We'll have a lot more from On the Ground right after this break.
Who has more subscriptions?
We're a package deal, baby. And your subscription is my subscription, all right? We have about 100.
We have a lot.
But with Experian app, they can help cancel those subscriptions that we don't even need.
Very helpful.
Download the Experian app now.
Framing is hard, but FrameBridge is easy. Custom frames, premium materials, transparent pricing. Get started at framebridge.com or visit a store today.
Look at this one under eye bag. It's gone.
There's this side and this side.
50 and haven't slept in weeks. 35 and fresh from a vacation.
Have you seen these videos all over social media and said to yourself, how is that real? Well, it's real. It works in as little as 10 minutes, and these results are incredible. It's called Plexiderm, and it can change the way you look almost instantly. Plexiderm is clinically studied to help reduce the appearance of under-eye puffiness, wrinkles, and fine lines, giving you a more youthful look in minutes with results that last up to 10 hours.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Oh my God. I can't believe I have no lines in my face.
I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
These results are remarkable, so don't wait. Try clinically studied Plexiderm this new year for just $14.95. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Stay tuned to get this knife set free from Granite Stone. Does cooking with your old pans feel like a kitchen battle? Scratches here, stuck on food there, and burnt on debris everywhere. You need to bring in battle-tested pans with armor. You need Granite Stone Armor Max, the revolutionary cookware set with 4 durable layers of ultra non-stick. So slick, virtually nothing sticks. No oil or butter needed. Granite Stone Armor Max is the fast, easy way to make your family 5-star gourmet meals that slide right out. Forged from durable aluminum with a hard anodized exterior, then coated with 1, 2, 3, 4 Armor Max layers to create our most durable, ultra non-stick Granite Stone pans ever. In fact, they're 800% longer lasting. They're oven rated up to 500 degrees and come with tempered glass, easy pour and strain lids. Plus, all Granite Stone cookware is 100% metal utensil and dishwasher safe. Look, you'd expect to pay up to $500 for a professional quality cookware set, and you still wouldn't get 4 layers. But during this special TV introduction, you can get the Granite Stone Armor Max set not for $500, $400, or even $300, but for just 5 easy payments of $39.99. And for everyone who orders today, we're going to drop 1 payment. You get it all for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll include this razor-sharp 6-piece knife set free. But this deal keeps getting stronger. You'll get our Armor Max Deep Steam and Fry Pan set, yours absolutely free. That's an incredible 20-piece Granite Stone Armor Max set, all for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-453-1595 or order online at buyarmormax.com. So call 1-800-453-1595 or go to buyarmormax.com.
This is the